just let me finish.
Okay, well, I thought I had, but go ahead.
Okay, y'all, let's take turns and let each other finish.
Welcome to Let Me Finish, the podcast where three minds give their unfiltered and sometimes unpopular opinions on all the craziness going on in our lives and in this world. We're your hosts, Jillian,
Janice.
And Michael.
Settle in and let's take a deep dive.
Welcome back to another episode of Let Me Finish. I'm your host, Janice.
And I'm Michael.
I'm Jillian.
Okay, so guys, this week we're on episode 49. I've confirmed that before recording. So we are fresh on the tail of 50.
Yep.
Yes, next week will be
Exciting.
50.
Yep, right around the corner.
I know. I mean, as long as I'm not 50 in life,
Okay.
so we're good. Exactly. But yeah, so I wanted to make sure that we, first of all, talked about our weeks, but I want to make sure we talk about the Oscars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I did not watch, but we'll get into it. So
It will be, honestly, I had a boring week, so Oscars was the highlight of my week. So
Did you watch it?
I didn't watch it, but I did. I wanted to see who won and who didn't win and who came out big. And I didn't watch like front to beginning or anything like that. But
I don't think I ever watch award shows from front to
When
beginning anymore.
Really?
yeah, I don't.
No, because
I just wait until everything gets posted
No.
online on social media.
I'm like, sadly, this is gonna sound horrible. MTV Movie Awards probably the only ones I actually care about the in between.
Really?
Everything else, I just want to know who won.
I don't watch the Grammys. I've never watched the Grammys ever.
They usually
really.
have great performances, so I just wait for the performances to get uploaded.
Yeah.
So Grammys, I think honestly, I think the Grammys is a sham anyways, because how Beyonce did not get album of the year for Lemonade, that album is a work of art. It's perfection. I have actually very rarely buy albums.
Are you a Beehive lover?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I like Beyonce, but I'm not obsessed with her.
I love Beyonce.
But
I love her.
But Lemonade, honestly,
But I don't follow her.
no, I'm not. Yeah, I'm
Like
not
that.
obsessed with. I'm not. Yeah, no. But
But I love
Lemonade,
her.
just the whole concept, the visual arts, because
It was cutting edge. It was very unique at the time when it came out. So that's one thing I like about Beyonce is I feel like she's always constantly reinventing herself. She
Right.
never sticks to the same. Because she could have easily been typecast or pigeonholed into one type of music or genre, but even her little country song, I was like,
Absolutely.
okay, girl.
yeah,
Absolutely.
she's definitely doing it. And so
Yeah.
Lemonade, and I think she ended up losing to. Who did she lose to? Oh, she
Not
lost
Taylor
to
Swift, honey.
She lost to Adele when
Oh, that's
Lemonade.
right.
I think
That's
it
right.
was. I think it was 24 or 25.
However, yeah, Adele is
Nothing that Adele, even Adele, when she
Yeah.
won, she's just like, yeah, you should have won.
Yeah.
And
she did get up there and say, I don't know how I won.
So
Yeah.
Lemonade. After that, I'm just like, yeah, the Grammys. It's not it.
So you shouldn't watch any award show because all of them
It's
are,
all political.
They're all
I think
like
it's all
that.
very political. In fact,
Same thing with the Oscar and the Academy Award.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they said I think they
Academy.
went and interviewed people who actually go and vote, and a lot of people stated that they didn't listen to the albums that were nominated, all the albums that were nominated.
See, that's not
and
The people on the actual panel that are doing the voting.
they're
Yeah.
doing the voting. They don't listen to all the albums. They admitted they didn't listen to all the albums that they
Okay.
voted on, and also
All right.
they felt
So not making an
like
informed decision. Good to know.
Right.
they specifically don't vote for a Beyonce because they felt like she's arrogant and
What does
as a
that
way
have
to
do
kind of
with
teach
the
her a
art?
lesson.
Yeah.
That's the whole
They
point.
admitted that?
They admitted it.
They admitted that they're biased. I'd be like, bitch, take me out of it.
They are
Yeah.
biased.
I don't even want to. Don't even nominate me, ho.
Yeah, I think they are.
I'm good.
They're definitely biased because
My album numbers will tell you how popular my album is.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not even a
My
popularity.
bank account will.
Yeah, it's not even a popularity thing as far as like album sales. I think at the end of the day,
Well,
it's
it's definitely
like
not.
Yeah, I know. I don't think when it comes to when I think about the Oscars and Grammy, I'm like, who's out here when they're expressing themselves, really pushing the genre, the music industry, innovating,
Yeah.
and it's not the same thing every
Exactly.
single year. And I think that's why I'm shocked that Beyonce hasn't won album of the year, because every album she puts out,
She's never won album of the year?
And Jay-Z had a lot to say about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think at the end of the day, when I think album of the year, is
I can't even talk shit because I was gonna say, but Taylor Swift has. But Taylor Swift is actually pretty talented. So.
she's
Very
won
talented, actually.
2 or 3 albums.
She has won multiple times.
3 or 4.
But she's actually very popular with them.
Yeah,
They love her, and I think, and
is
then,
weird.
and
She's very controversial.
Yeah, she is.
Taylor Swift, she knows what she does, and
She stays in her lane.
She stays in her lane. She doesn't vary a lot. Honestly,
I feel like she's kind of changed it up a bit.
I think
more
with
poppy.
Yeah.
I think with Taylor Swift, I think she sounds exactly the same, and that's her. She knows what she's good at, and
Her music type. I mean, she used to be very country.
that was
Country
years,
pop, but now it's very
years.
like pop.
Pop, yeah.
Very
She's
pop.
very pop.
You know who stays
The country's
same?
completely gone.
Lana Del Rey stays the same. I mean, that woman hasn't changed a bit. From
Like
the
you're like,
beginning.
I don't
She's-
even know
Yeah.
if this is
Talking-
this is not the same song.
It's the same song every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I
yeah.
think actually Taylor's changed up her image and her look and a couple times.
No, when I hear her songs, I don't. At least the ones, like I said, I'm not a Taylor. I'm not a Swiftie, so it's really the popular ones that actually make it on the radio and very
Yeah.
popular.
Like I loved Wildest Dreams. I thought that was such a pretty song.
I just don't. The really popular ones, I think they're all sound the same. Where there's a big difference between Lemonade and Revolution and Renaissance. There's a big difference between those two
Huge.
albums.
Well,
Yeah.
they're completely different genres. So yeah, there's a big
Yeah,
difference
and for
there.
her to be able to come in, do something totally different, and still dominate, and just be at a top level, I just find that surprising. She hasn't won album of the year, so
I
that's
think
my.
Lady Gaga and Beyonce are both the same level of like innovation. I think of
Yes.
Michael Jackson, like people that
Yes.
push the boundaries of
Yes.
music. Prince.
When it Michael Jackson, when he was definitely innovating whenever.
Yes,
When it comes
but
to
his
that,
style
because right
was
when
his style.
his style
don't
was
think
his
so?
style, but
Yeah,
also
very
I
much.
think
Oh yeah, there's no one like him. I'm not
yeah,
saying
no,
that.
no
I'm
one
saying
like
no
Michael
one that
Jackson.
can
But I
compare.
think
That's not
Michael embraced the music video
yeah.
sooner than anyone else and did it at a higher level than even now. Who remember the time, Thriller, those are still
But they're all the
20, 30, 40 years later. You're just like, damn.
But
Yeah.
they're all
That's
the
still-
same type of music, same feel.
I'm not saying that because that he's the king of pop for a reason. He knows his lane and he's stuck in it. And I mean, towards the end, he did try to change it up and be more political in his music. But at the end of the day, Michael Jackson he was just a performer. He was just chef's kiss performer. This man literally on the Super Bowl, he was like silent for like 10, 15 seconds and you had the whole stadium. He's just sitting there still, not saying nothing, singing, doing nothing. I mean, you have the whole crowd.
When it comes to music, do you think that
Definitely.
Michael is like the pinnacle?
I think he's up
Music.
there. Yeah, I
Just
think
in
he's
general.
Just as far as like,
Singing
Like his
voice.
notoriety, his all level, his
Yes.
I think, when it comes
think
to
so.
being a superstar and taking the genre and truly making it his own and,
talent.
innovating and
people are
talent.
fainting, crying, throwing babies at him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's touching him.
I
And
think
just imagine he was doing numbers where you had to go physically buy a copy.
yeah.
That's a big deal.
I
And those
remember when
things
I
were
bought
not
his
cheap.
double album, but as we run down this road of music, so if you're talking about the Oscars,
Okay,
So,
all right.
But
So
before
what do
we
you-
get to that, let's talk about our weeks. I mean, how was your week? Chill.
Chill.
Nothing. Not much.
Yeah.
Yeah, my week was very chill too. It was a very, I think I say it every week. My work week's so hectic. It always is though.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of changes and it just had to be, you had to be on top of your game this week for sure. So it was a very tiring week in general. But other than that, I was a little under the weather and I'm still a little like congested.
Yeah, you sound congested.
Yeah, and I think it's just because I think it's allergies. It's the weather.
Yeah.
It keeps fucking changing. Like, make
know.
your mind.
I know. It's hard when
Yeah.
you have to work when you feel like that.
How'd y'all feel about the daylight's not savings or the jump forward?
yeah.
I barely
I
knew
hate
it
it.
happened
I d-
I hate it.
until I woke up this morning. I was like, wait.
yeah.
Wait.
It hits you later. Yeah.
I was like, okay. Even driving home, like by the time I got home, it was like bright out. I was like,
Right.
oh wow.
When I'm leaving work, I like it because I'm just like, because I was walking out with my coworker and I was just like, it's first of all, it's in the 70s, so it's nice weather, and I'm just like, wow, it's like super bright, And by the time I actually drive all the way home, I usually get home around, if I'm not doing anything by 6:15, or if on my workout days, I'll get home by 7:15. So I'm like, oh, it'll be light out because it really doesn't get dark till like 8:30.
Yeah.
That throws me off, though. I'm like, I need to be in bed. What's going on?
No. I like that part. So, and especially when the summertime, I like that extra time in the afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And then Michael, how was your week?
The highlight of my week was probably Ariana Grande's new album, which just came out.
Ah,
It
yes.
was so good. I'm a big fan of her music for years, and this album is just another step up. She's just really, really creating really exciting music, and every album is different. There are people that would say that she's one-dimensional and she, stays in her lane. But honestly, if you look at the trajectory of her career, she really has evolved a lot. I mean, this girl was a Disney star, and now she's talking about
But if you really
all
think
types
about
of
it,
things.
because when I think about Ariana Grande, I think she's just super talented. Like her voice is crazy amazing, and she's probably one of the only ones I know that are in the music industry currently that can even attempt a Mariah Carey note.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
So, I mean, not attempt it, hit it and sound amazing.
Yeah.
So,
and she's going to be in the new Wicked movie, so that's cool.
Literally, I cannot wait.
I saw the trailer. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Speaking of Wicked, though, her co-star.
Oh.
What do you think about that relationship?
Well,
the one she left her husband for. Her new husband.
I don't have much of an opinion on it, to be honest. I was talking to a male friend about her, and he was like, well, she's really embracing her homewrecker era. And I was like, well,
I don't know, but I wouldn't call her a homewrecker.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
I mean, listen. Do you, right? I just think it's crazy because I'm just like, it's mostly because I'm just like, that is not what I would think she would go for.
No.
She just, and you know what I think the thing about her is like all of her, not one guy that she's been with, I'm like, oh yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. No.
They're all so different.
Yeah.
She goes for that soul baby.
Yeah.
Whatever's in that heart is what she's going for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because none of them look the same. None of them are typecast at all.
Yeah.
Pete Davidson.
She
dated him?
Oh, yeah.
What?
I missed
Girl,
that.
you didn't know?
I missed that.
That's what put Pete on the map,
Yeah,
honey.
she-
She started talking about
yes,
his
they
phone.
were.
Yeah.
Yes, they were.
Started talking about
I
his
totally forgot she was engaged to him.
No, she wasn't engaged to him.
They were
wasn't?
together, but they weren't engaged.
They were not engaged, no.
But they were together.
I
I don't think they were engaged.
Maybe.
I'm going to Google that.
Maybe. But what was that guy who I don't give up about you and anything
Oh,
that you
yeah.
do?
I don't remember his name.
Sean, Lil Sean, or Big
I don't
Sean?
know.
Big Sean. Big
Yeah.
Sean.
She dated Big Sean?
Yes.
What?
And
Yeah.
she dated Bow Wow. Just kidding.
She did Big Sean, Pete Davidson. Those are the two main that I would think you would know.
And then not Rick. Is his name Rick Ross, the one who passed away?
Ricky, I don't know.
No, Mac Miller.
Oh, right.
Oh, Mac Miller
Mac
was
Miller.
another
He's
one.
the rapper that passed
That's
away.
what I'm saying. None of them are.
No, none of them.
Wait.
And then now this guy is like, he looks like just the softest, sweetest little thing.
Yeah.
But so did her ex-husband now. They both look very sweet and soft and
I think there's a side to her we don't know. Because in her lyrics, sometimes she talks about real nasty things. And it's like, coming from her, it's like, whoa. You
you're
talk
a
about
baby.
Yeah, I know. Well, Wendy Williams actually said that. She can't think of her as being sexual. She'll always think of her as a little girl because of the way she dresses and her hair and
I think it's just the way she looks. Her whole look just looks
She looks very young.
adolescent.
Youthful.
It's very youthful.
Yeah.
But speaking of Wendy Williams,
Yes.
we are gonna
Oh, wait, hold on. I did Google it. They were engaged.
okay.
I didn't know that.
Very quickly, right? Very brief engagement. Because I was like, actually, they might have been. I think it was very short.
It was,
I think it was very short.
and they became engaged weeks after becoming the relationship. I don't
Weeks
know.
after?
I don't know how long.
I'm telling you, him and that.
Yeah.
That must be a golden.
I
he
mean,
be pulling them.
And low key, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's all these women talking about him, but I'm like, he's actually kind of cute.
yeah, I
No.
never understood it.
I could actually.
no.
I think his personality seems like really fun.
Yeah, he does seem fun.
He seems really, really fun.
Who was it? I don't.
Not
One
like
time,
that.
Janice had me rolling, and I said, "I don't get it," and you.
Who was I talking about?
I don't know who it was, and I'm like, I don't get it. Why did these women keep hooking up with this guy? And Janice, dead ass with a straight face, because she be like, because he be slaying the dick. I'm like,
girl, it gotta be
Janice,
gotta be like for real, because these women, Kate Beckinsale, Kim Kardashian, like I'm like, this man must be.
I can't remember who was it.
Must have it and use it like he has to.
It was Nick Cannon.
Gotta be like that man. Gotta be putting it down.
Yes, I mean, because
that man must have got a good old.
I mean, it's just like that's what we were talking. We're talking about Nick Cannon. I'm just like, how does he get all these? And
these women be knowing about each other. Yeah. Oh, she's pregnant. I want to be pregnant too.
It's like, and I think this is before he had all his kids. This is like when he was married to Mariah Carey. And I
think Mariah's his love.
He had like a string of Victoria's Secret models and all that stuff. I'm just like,
women.
I'm like, Nick Cannon. I don't get it. Janice,
not even one of them is questionable.
Yeah,
not even one of his.
All of them gorgeous 10s, and without skipping a breath. And she's just like, cause be slinging that dick. I was just like, Janice.
Throwing it down in that bedroom, honey.
And she's just like, I be like, I looked at her, I'm just like,
for it.
Okay, yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
It's gotta be.
Gotta be.
Mm-hmm. All these women willingly laying down with this man, knowing what's going on.
I could not sign up to
Same
be a baby mama.
Same thing with Chris Brown.
Same thing with
Chris Brown could get it.
Yeah.
With every little rumor I've heard, yeah, I'm in. Sign me up. Yeah.
I'll take a black eye or two.
He's so cute. He's so sexy. Anyways, let me get off my soapbox.
Okay.
But anyways, we kind of mentioned Wendy Williams, and that's actually what we want to talk about today. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and talk about Wendy Williams. Where the hell is she, y'all? What's going on?
Mm-hmm. All right, we'll be right back.
Okay, and we're back, and we are talking about Wendy Williams.
Good old Wendy.
Good old Wendy, honey. So, here's the thing. When did Wendy's show go off the air? 2022?
I don't remember. 2021, maybe? No?
It was after COVID. It was
after the pandemic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Either way. So, we might not have a date, y'all. But Wendy's off the air.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody's like, there was a documentary that came out on Lifetime, and it's like, where's Wendy Williams? Mm-hmm. And I was like, shit, where is that? Mm-hmm. Where is she? But it's just crazy to me. Like, obviously, so did y'all see when she fainted on TV?
Yes.
Like, that was crazy. And I think that was just kind of the start of everybody understanding that the woman's going through a lot of other issues besides... She's not well.
Yeah.
And she's not well in many different factors in her life. Like body, mind, soul. Like the woman is not
mentally,
okay.
Emotionally.
Yeah.
She's not okay. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm watching this documentary and she has a couple things going on, which alcoholism is at the forefront of the whole documentary.
Yes.
But listening to her talk, I'm like, okay, well, I see why they couldn't continue a show with her, because she does not make sense. She does, and they did diagnose her with dementia. Mm-hmm. So it makes sense because she definitely sounds like a dementia patient. Mm. Like you're having a conversation, all of a sudden it just goes left. Mm-hmm. And also people with dementia, they do have anger outbursts. Mm.
Yes.
So, and that was the number one thing I saw.
That was the number, yes.
On the documentary.
On the
documentary. How she was treating
documentary.
people and yelling at them. And it was like...
like, there's the lady that was doing her nails. And she's like, oh, can you just do one coat? And she was going in to fix it. And she goes, are you stupid? And the lady like stopped like, what? And she snapped at other people, other assistants, It
was when Sean, her assistant, she has a female assistant, and she's talking, having a normal conversation. She goes, I wish you would have liposuction.
Oh my God.
Like everything else is just fabulous. The hair is giving, face is giving. I just wish you would get some liposuction. Mm-hmm. I'm like,
and then when she was talking about like how her closet was organized, and she was complaining about that with Sean and all that. That's the name
that's
of the
what she did say that. Mm-hmm. She was just like, put it back straight. oh, you're so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like that. But it gives me very dementia.
Yeah.
Because people with dementia do have anger outbursts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it was that. She has a disease called
lymphedema.
I don't know exactly what it is, but I know her feet.
It causes it can happen in any of your limbs where fluid just builds up really bad in those. For her, I think she's lucky because it's just in her 2 feet. I've seen people with lymphedema where it's their entire leg, which her. By the way, she's got legs for days and is she looked like she's lost a lot of weight and very thin. But it looks like the lymphedema is really just in her feet.
But
so her feet were like completely swollen. I would say 2 to 3 sides, 2 to 3, not even like
bent down at an angle.
Wow.
Like, I don't even know how she's wearing shoes.
Yeah, she really can't. And so she stated that she had issues with her thyroid as well. She has some other.
She has a lot of stuff.
Going on physically. And she's dealing with the alcohol issue. Honestly, when I was watching the documentary, first of all, she would cry on a dime. She would talk about how she missed her family, and I see somebody who is
hurting.
I feel like she's starved for human connection.
Yeah,
she's in
very
pain.
insecure.
You can definitely tell she's in pain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And more than just physical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think sadly, because of her background and things that she's done in her past, she's not getting a lot of empathy or sympathy for what she's going through. Mm-hmm. Because she did used to come for people so harshly and viciously. And so I'm just like, oh, man, it's hard to... no, because watching the documentary, you do feel a twinge in your heart for her.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's sad to see her, and you can tell it's just like that's not right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so really, my main thing with it is I don't know who to trust because she's in a conservatorship with a guardian, which we all know about
court-appointed,
conservatorships with Britney Spears, and she to me is the ideal candidate for a conservatorship for sure. Like, or at least some type of guardian to help her with like making sound decisions. Yeah, because she would not be able to make sound decisions in her condition currently. No. However, I'm like, the people you appointed, I'm very unsure of why you appointed them and not her family. Mm-hmm. It seems weird.
Well, they did explain that if they feel they do, it's very rare that it's not a family member that's appointed by the court. When they hired a third party,
a court official or something
to actually step in instead of a family member, is if they feel that the abuse is coming directly from the family. Which, watching the documentary, I feel like there's 2 different kinds. There's the financial conservatorship versus like her actual dealing with her actual physical health, because they did terminate the son as a power of attorney for her, which also means that they had no say in her health decisions with her. So I feel watching the documentary, it's only 4 episodes, I felt like if they had concerns as far as the financial part, because they were saying that the son had misused money in her account, which
it was $100,000 that they made a claim on, and
they're like,
to their point,
and to the family made a point. It was like, that's nothing to her. She said that that Wendy had spent that much on birthday parties for her son. So and he said, and the son did
Uber Eats.
Yeah. And she said that the son said that, hey, anything that I've taken, my mom has always approved of me taking that money. So as far as if you're concerned financially that she's being taken care of, I understand maybe have someone put her money in a trust and have a third party as a trustee that will divvy out money, and the approval has to go through that trustee as far as how money is spent. But as far as her health wise, especially with the drinking, I feel like she got better when she was with her family versus when she wasn't.
I agree.
When she was away from her family, I felt like she was always in bed and she was always drinking. And
because they didn't really stop her from doing those things. They were very much people they would allow her to have alcohol. There would be times here and there, like I felt like on camera, where you knew the cameras were watching, where you would be like, no, her son doesn't want her drinking type thing. But I don't think that's how it's going.
Yeah.
Because you're saying how you come to her house and you find bottles everywhere. Like, if you really do, why would you allow her to drink in front of you? Like, at the very least, you're going to have to hide that shit.
Right.
Right? So, I think and I don't know if it's because they think her son's too young to take on that responsibility.
No.
She has a sister. And the sister was in the documentary, and also a niece that I felt like were very sound people in her life.
Yes. And then they asked the sister if she wanted to come on as a guardian. And she's like, yeah, what do I need to do? What does this entail? And they're like, yeah, you have to take some classes and different steps. And she said that, yeah, I'll be willing to do it. And she never heard anything else after that. They just
never followed up.
Wow. Interesting.
So I'm just like, I do feel like, poor Wendy. I do feel like Wendy's like in like a Britney Spears-esque type situation, except hers is not more so they're trying to take her money. I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know what they're trying to do to her. I really don't.
I really think at this point, other than her family, I really do think that no one is there for her physical, mental, and emotional well-being. I think
that's my whole point. It's family. So why are you not pointing family?
Who loves Wendy Williams? Like, what community does she represent?
I mean, I would definitely say housewives and moms, and because she's morning TV, like she's talk show TV in the mornings, Monday through Friday. So I think she had a huge following there. Suburbia, America, I would think would be her niche.
Audience.
Yeah. Anyone who's like tabloid junkies and
gossip,
reality show junkies. I think
you would think I would love Wendy Williams at the time, and I didn't.
That was the
I am all of that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I would. Oh my god!
I never watched her.
I never watched the show.
But I think it's because I was always at work. It's not necessarily that I wouldn't have watched her. I just was always at work.
I watched several clips and interviews, and she, like with Nicki Minaj, when Nicki Minaj, before she was too big, was on her show, and she was really mean to Nicki.
No, I would have to push back on that because Wendy did warn her about that husband.
So warn her and then attacking her for making the decision is the same thing?
I think this was before she got married.
This is before she was married to the guy.
To him, but she's like...
She wasn't that big at the time.
But I also think because she kind of can see her, through her own lived experience, can see what Nicki had.
So did she... Okay, so it's one thing to be right about a situation, but how did she deliver...
She had zero tact.
How did she deliver the message?
She had zero tact.
Because one thing I have learned in my life is you can be right, but your delivery makes you wrong.
100%.
Yeah,
I agree
Wendy
completely.
rarely had tact. She was the kind of person that she told... I'm not saying that Wendy ever told a lie. It's just how she delivered it. I think that's
my
what
whole
rubbed people
point.
the wrong
And
way.
that's why I have to, I remind people in my day-to-day work life, in life, I'm just like, listen, you could be right, but the way you went about...
Absolutely.
Giving the information made you wrong. All they focus on is how you delivered it.
Exactly.
Instead of the message you were
ruined
giving.
the whole message because of your
So
delivery.
you have to be careful with that. You do have to have tact with that
I
kind
think
of stuff.
that's a part of her brand is the fact that she didn't have
Cold,
tact.
hard truth, raw.
Yeah, it's not even that. I just think
No lube.
it creates more drama, which that was her
thing.
Yeah, it created more drama, which that's what she...
Her brand.
Her brand, and also that's how she made her money.
Well, they did say that basically she had a complete downfall after her divorce. That's really where, because as much as he might have been cheating on her, he still made sure Wendy was okay. Like, as far as physically.
Making sure she got to work on time.
Stayed sober, made your calls, all of that. Like, he made her functional.
The way I feel about her is how I felt about Joan Rivers. They both have the same trajectory in terms of like people think how vicious can you be. Yeah. They thought that about Joan Rivers, and quite frankly, she was very vicious. Joan Rivers. She's a comedian, so her mentality is I'm saying what y'all are thinking, but I think she did cross the line. Many times she would make fun of with Joan, yeah. She crossed lines with 9/11 jokes. There's just certain things that are yes, you're a comedian, but I feel like there's no respect when you cross certain things are faux pas.
Let's talk about that with comedy, because I do feel like with comedians in particular, their job to make these uncomfortable situations a joke.
I think so. Yeah, I don't disagree with that notion at all. I just think Joan Rivers, specifically
Went too
her,
far.
she would call kids ugly on live television, and I find that tacky. It's just not my thing. It's not my.
There's
I'm not
other
saying
things to be funny about.
Yeah, I mean, like, she's a brilliant comedian. She could have said anything, but she had to talk about how fat someone's daughter is. It's like, that was unnecessary.
And then what's fat? Fat is a what is it? Subjective.
Right. I mean, like, that girl's going to see you say that, and she's going to have problems. To you got a laugh line, but you just created years worth of insecurity and therapy in this young girl. You see what I'm saying? I just feel like cheap laughs, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Because only reason why I brought up the comedian theme, because it was Dave Chappelle. I was like, guys, let's let him be a comedian.
Yeah.
Please. Like, even with Chris Rock and Jada, I'm like, let Chris be a comedian.
Yeah.
Like, god dang, like, is it really that harsh? Like, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I just think that
way
people, yes, I think people are way too sensitive nowadays.
You brought up the J word.
No, it's not even that.
I know
No,
that.
it's not that.
Hold on, y'all. Here goes Jillian's soapbox on Jada. So,
No. I said, yeah, it's just a joke until you're on the receiving end. If you're the butt of the joke, is it really?
A lot of people on the receiving end of a comedian's joke in an audience. Like, a lot of people.
Yeah. But does that make you, if you're the butt of the joke, I would feel like shit. It is, you can acknowledge that, hey, oh, everyone's laughing, ha ha ha. But if you're the butt of the joke and you feel like shit, I'm allowed to feel like shit and say, man, that was fucked up. You can,
I feel like people are trying to cancel comedians for certain things, and I don't think that's right.
You can, same way you can go up there and make your joke and make me the butt of the joke. Guess what? I can come back and say, you know what? That was fucked up. I didn't like that. Screw you.
Jillian.
So I get to own my feelings and feel my feelings and react to my feelings as well. I feel that's fair too.
Okay, but trying to cancel somebody for it?
I would say, hey, if you don't like it, you don't have to consume the product.
Exactly.
And that, I think at the end of the day,
make it seem like these comedians, like, don't go to their shows.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't be in the audience.
Right.
If you don't want to be the butt of a joke at a comedian show, maybe don't go to one that literally always does crowd surfing.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Maybe not.
I agree.
Maybe that.
I'm with you, Janice. I feel like...
you know what? Honestly... Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Honestly, yes. I totally agree with you. If I know that's their bit and I don't want to be a possible target, I wouldn't go to a show either.
You can prevent yourself from putting yourself in that situation. Mm-hmm. I just think with Joan, she specifically targeted women that were unconventionally not attractive.
But to me, Joan Rivers wasn't an attractive woman.
No.
I'm looking at you like, honey,
right. Who are you talking to? Right.
And I think that's a part of her projecting. I think that's why she did what she did.
Probably. Same thing with Wendy, honey.
Right. No, that's the point. So
that woman is.
I know we got sidetracked, but that's actually the point I'm trying to make. Is Joan Rivers has that same quality that Wendy has, which is like, look, we're all thinking it. I'm just saying it. Mm-hmm. So if we're gonna,
you don't want anybody to talk about the way you look, Wendy.
Right. If we're gonna blast Wendy, we should blast Joan Rivers. You know, I think they're.
Yeah. No. I agree. They're about the same. You don't look good. Listen.
Yeah. Who
I'm the first one to say Wendy Williams. Not attractive woman to me.
Yeah.
Not at all.
And that's fine.
And other people. But here's the thing. My opinion could be different from this person's opinion, and some people find her attractive. I don't. Mm-hmm. I think she's a very unattractive woman. However. Like, I'm not going to go out and be like, yeah, Wendy, you're ugly. Like, I'm not going to say that to her. Right. But as opposed to what she would. But I also think, again, don't go to Wendy's show. Don't be interviewed by Wendy when you know exactly who she is.
Yeah. I think you need to, if you go on her show, you need to be on your, on your toes.
You got to be prepared to be talked shit about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what you're signing up for.
And she's the kind of person that she had no problem. Things that you thought, oh, I don't want to talk about this. That's exactly what she was going to talk about on that show. And I think one time, the one person who was able to push back the best whenever, she was just trying to dig at her was Keke Palmer. But Keke has always been like that.
Oh.
Keke, I love Keke.
She was just like, no. She kind of pushed back and be like, no, you're wrong for that.
Then I think it's funny then, because on the documentary, she was very much like, I don't want to talk about that. Move on. Next. excuse me. Like,
Yeah.
to me, she gives that like, oh, auntie vibe.
Yes.
Where she gonna shut you down. You shut down, honey. I don't care what you got to say. I don't care what I did. You shut down.
Yeah. And I think that's how people kind of have to deal with Wendy at times, is to just shut her down.
And that's why I was like, something's going on with these people around her, because I don't know how much this woman, that's what I'm saying. Clearly she doesn't know what she's paying you, because she's not the one actually paying you, right? And then you're her publicist, but her manager, but then you allow her to talk to you crazy, and you're like, I know she loves me. You just met her. What you mean she loves you?
Right.
Yeah.
You met her in the throes of her sickness.
Yeah.
What you mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to, I don't know. It just seems real weird. And I'm telling you, the one guy, Will, which is her, not her guardian, but
her manager.
He answers to the guardian. It's very controlling. It's very disturbing to see a grown-up be controlled that much by another human.
That's creepy.
Unless you're in prison. That's the only time
Honestly,
I would think you would be that controlled.
Right.
She's technically
Same thing with
in
Brittany.
prison.
Like, Brittany was in prison
Yeah.
in her own life. And I'm just like, I don't see a time where anybody needs to be controlled that much unless they have committed a crime.
Right. Unless they're physically unstable.
Physically, like, what
Like
do you mean?
if they may be a harm to themselves or others.
Sure. And she's not, she could be a harm to herself with her alcoholism. But I didn't see you stopping that.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, what? Like, why do you guys have her? I don't know. It was very disturbing to watch. But then at the same time, the family wasn't much better. It just seemed, I don't know for me, I don't know who to trust with Wendy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, clearly the woman's sick. That's clear on many different levels. But I'm very unsure if this guardianship and this whole system or her family, I don't know who to trust. I don't trust either, weirdly enough.
I wonder how old she is. She's in her 50s?
She's in her 50s.
Yeah.
Google it, Jillian.
I'm sure
Google
she
it,
just
yeah.
did not sure she did not anticipate this to be her, 50s.
I don't think she really knows.
No.
And I think that divorce really messed her up.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, he just wanted to have a baby on her. But I'm like, I mean, it's Hollywood.
Yeah.
What did you expect?
Exactly.
What did you expect?
I will give her credit for creating I'm not using the word iconic. I use that word very lightly. But I was just going to say, I think that she paved the way for a lot of people. She really created a career for herself. And
that's why I'm like, at the end of the day, Wendy Williams is still like, that's why I don't fault her on what she did on the show.
Right.
Like, as much as like it was harsh, I don't fault her. When you really think about it, Barbara Walters, Diane Sawyer, like all these other
respected
journalists do the same thing.
Yeah.
Wendy just did it on a morning talk show platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
I agree.
what did Diana ripped into Brittany at one point. Barbara ripped into
lots of people.
Whitney. Brittany, Whitney, both of them. They just ripped into him. But, oh, God forbid that Wendy say, are you still doing heroin? Shit, because I want to know. Shit, she asked me the questions. I'm like, are you? Tell me. Like, you're a celeb. And that's the thing. When it comes to celebrity status, like, you all, like...
I agree.
You are giving the world access to you.
I agree completely.
Like, I'm not saying they have to have access to all parts of you.
But you are giving.
But you are giving people access. And there is going to be curiosity of what you're really doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
your motivations.
that's just what it boils down to. I don't think Wendy did anything wrong.
Yeah.
I just think that if you don't like her style, don't watch it.
Yeah, it's not for you.
Or if you don't like her style as a celebrity, don't be on her show.
Yeah. You
Point
know
blank
what
period.
she does, so don't go.
Yeah.
Right. If you have things you want to hide, she's not going to be the person that's going to let you hide it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or learn how to pivot real
Know
quick.
your audience. Know your
Or
audience.
learn how to pivot really quick. Or know that's the expectation and don't blame her for asking those hard-hitting questions.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
No,
how
I
I
agree.
feel about it.
I think you bring up a great point with Diane Sawyer because she's considered a well-respected journalist.
Yeah.
And so is Barbara Walters. I frankly don't like Barbara Walters, never have. Not a big fan of Diane Sawyer either, but they're considered respectable. They were really volatile to a lot of celebrities.
To be honest, Diane's interview with Brittany was the most like, wow,
perplexing.
You were really going in on this like,
young girl.
Was she a teenager or like
she must have been like 20 years old, 19,
Yeah.
Like, and you're asking about her virginity on camera,
Yeah. Humiliating,
and things like that with her current boyfriend. Like this.
Yeah.
Frankly, it's none of your business. But if you're gonna ask it, don't act like it wasn't crossing a line and that it's not more than what other or less than what other journalists have done.
because it opens the floodgates for other people to be like, oh, so since
I do have a right to your sex life. I want to know.
Yeah,
right.
Questions I don't think she would have asked a male.
Oh, of course
interview,
not.
yeah.
Of course not.
So it's
there's
very
definitely a
racist
double
and
standard.
sexism as
Now,
well.
one thing
Yeah.
I do feel like Wendy did is she never discriminated. Man, woman, black, white,
That's
Asian,
true.
Hispanic. She gonna hit you with all the questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It don't matter. You're in my chair. I'm gonna ask you whatever I want.
Yes.
I like that about Wendy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I said right now, like I said, watching that documentary, I definitely felt sad for her. I feel like at the end of the day, I feel like it comes down to the alcohol. I think that's something that she
Big
definitely needs
problem.
to. And then towards the end, she wasn't really involved. Towards the end of like episode 4, she wasn't really involved because she was in rehab, and her family wasn't even hearing from her anymore. So I feel like if she can get help for starting with the alcoholism, I think that will help going forward. I don't know how that will
do you think
affect her.
it's dementia though? Like
That part I don't, but I feel like
That's not gonna
when you're
change it.
constantly drunk, I think your body's constantly fighting that.
Yeah, she's very insecure.
Mm-hmm.
That adds to it.
Yeah.
I would be too.
Yeah. So I think at the end of the day, I think too much alcohol just exacerbates other issues. And I think if you're
In my head, I'm like, bitch, drink. You got all the other shit going on. Drink, honey. But no, it's not.
No,
good.
it's not good.
She's definitely killing herself with it. So
Yeah,
yeah.
is.
she should stop.
Let's just say, and I did end up looking it up, and she actually will be turning 60 in July. And I think at the end of the day, honestly, after finishing it, I am not going to be shocked. I'm waiting for the announcement. Wendy Williams dead at
Yeah.
whatever age.
Yeah.
Think she'll make 70?
No,
No.
I don't.
Really?
Honestly, this is a topic for another day. I don't think Brittany will either, but that's another topic. We'll talk about that another time.
Oh, Brittany, no.
I don't think she'll make it that far either. But yeah.
Another 20 years? She's
No,
only
I don't
40
think-
something.
I think the
I don't-
celebrity status and that lifestyle, that hard,
Brittany is too
hard
damaged.
and fast lifestyle.
She's too damaged.
I feel like, so sad.
It is
Brittany's
sad.
one of the saddest topics out there because the girl
She's so sweet.
does seem like such a genuine human being.
Yeah.
And she just got the shit end of the stick when it came to her talent and the people around her. So
Yeah, and her
sadly.
love life. Yeah.
Everything about it. And with Wendy, I do think she's lonely. I think she needs help.
I think she's burned a lot of bridges, too. Burned a lot
Brittany,
of bridges.
or Wendy,
Wendy,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't think she's in whatever guardianship she has. She's not in the right situation.
Yeah.
It's questionable at best. So yeah, I mean that's really what I have to say about Wendy Williams. And
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm not gleeful in her,
Demise.
or her,
sickness,
she's in a,
ailments.
I hopefully she's just in a valley and she'll reach another peak again.
I think once you're dementia, it's. I mean,
Yeah, she's-
there's really no coming back. It's
She
a
had a good
hard
career.
disease. It's a
I
hard
mean,
disease.
it's a hard disease, but I feel like
You don't recover from that.
you can't, and unfortunately, I feel like I
She'll
think right
never-
now she'll never fully be recovered. But I feel like maybe the progression can be slowed if she just gets sober.
Yes, I think so as well.
And that's
yeah.
a big if. I don't
Yeah.
see that.
If I mean, at this point, I think all the people around her are very like, hell, enjoy. Like, not saying they're gonna let her drink herself to death, but they're allowing her to continue to drink, which is not good for her.
No.
But
She needs to be in a rehabilitation center.
she needs to have round the clock clear,
Yeah.
round the clock care.
Yeah.
From what I saw,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's sad because she's rich and happy. Like,
Yeah.
you think riches, and that shows you once again, riches
Yeah.
do not buy happiness.
No, it does
No,
not.
it doesn't.
She's not happy.
No.
She's not. Her son's not happy. Her family's not happy. So, I hope Wendy gets the help she needs. So that's what I got to say about it.
Yeah, I feel so too. Like watching the documentary, I feel sad for her. I I want her to have a full recovery. Probably not in the cards for her, but to see some kind of progress, and I want someone to be on her side.
You root for the underdog. You want the underdog.
I think her son is on her side, to be honest, though.
I do too. Like I said, when
she has people
when
on her
she
side,
was
but
with
whatever
her family,
reason, the conservatorship or the guardianship is not allowing her to have access to her family.
I don't think that's right, and I think throughout the 4 episodes, I felt like she was at her best. Possibly was when she was with her family. So I hope that situation definitely changes.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, it is Monday night, so we're going to head out of here. When you guys are hearing this is going to be Wednesday, so happy Wednesday, and you guys have a wonderful day. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
And that's a wrap on the latest episode of Let Me Finish. Thank you guys for joining us for another week and listening to the latest episode. Don't forget, go like, share, and subscribe on your favorite platforms. And you guys can also follow us and see us on different platforms. I am on Instagram, and that's going to be Uniquely Janice. And then I'll also be on TikTok, Janice H, GENICEH. Michael, where can they find you?
I'm only on Instagram, and it's Kasra Salimi. And by Kasra Salimi, I mean Kasra Writes, because I changed it and I just forgot. So it's KASRA Writes, WRITES.
Yes. Jillian, where can we find you?
Instagram as well, and it's New Jillian Who Dis.
New Jillian Who Dis. All right, well, we will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.